Hi guys. Okay, you're not going to like this one, but I don't think there's anything new in that. But truth will set you free if you've got the eyes to see and the ears to hear, okay? Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Okay. However, for as many as are the works of the law are under the curse. So works of the law are going to put you under the curse, but there are some kind of works that we are supposed to be doing. Works of the law are under the curse. So what is the law, you guys? The law is religion. Remember, L-I-G, relig, means legal. It also means binding. It means bond, bands, bind. So religion, law, is a legal binding. Works of the law, guys, are the law that you do while under covenant, because covenant is a legal binding agreement. You're under covenant with God. So what is the law covenant? It's the law of your engagement contract. Okay, so what is given to us at Sinai? We are still under because we have not fulfilled the law. We are waiting for the marriage supper of the Lamb. We're waiting for the marriage. So just like the Jews, you and I are under the engagement contract. We're waiting for the marriage supper of the Lamb. Okay? Okay, so under that contract, under the law, under contract, what we agree to do. We agree to give up our sin. We agree to walk in the ways of God. We agree to follow the commandments. We agree to serve God. We agree to serve Him. We agree to pray. We agree to study. We agree to whiten ourselves by removing all of our sin. We want to be unwrinkled and unblemished. And everything that we do to attain purity is a curse. The works of the law are under the curse. The works of the law are under the curse. Okay, so everything that you and I do to attain purity, to be found worthy on that day, that is the curse. That's what I'm telling you. It's the curse. Okay, so you're going to say I'm crazy, but you need to know the truth, okay? Okay. Jesus told us that there is no marriage in the resurrection. There is no marriage in the resurrection. Okay, so what have you and I done? We've created a false image of God, the God of the law, the God of the book, that He wants us to be white and clean because He's going to judge us by our works. He judges, rules, reigns over us. He's in the courtroom deciding if we are innocent and pure or guilty. So you and I are striving to be clean and purified so that we can be found innocent and pure and white on that day. Jesus said there is no marriage in the resurrection. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world, that's the new world that I just stepped onto, and the resurrection from the dead. Now the dead is the contract. You're in baptismal contract. A baptism is one of the sacraments of religion. Baptism, consecration, Marriage, these are all the sacraments of religion. They're agreements, they're covenants. A baptism says, yes, I will be part of this faith. I will be part of this religion. It's an agreement. It's a covenant. It's religion, law. It binds you. It's a contract. So even marriage then is a legal binding. Marriage is a legal binding, and binding means you're in prison. This is why there is no marriage in the resurrection, because you are being set free from the bonds, the bands, the bindings of the contract. There is no marriage in the resurrection. So this is going to shock you, but it shall come as a surprise, remember? And without shock treatment, your heart will not restart. You're under the tables of stone. So here I am going to tell you who the virgin is for. Who's the virgin for? And to her was granted. Oh, here it is. You can't see it. Okay, right here. Let us be glad and rejoice and give him honor, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. Okay, Jesus, what I'm beginning to want to tell you is ignore everything in the letter except for Jesus's words. Okay, because the letter is the law. It is the curse. It is the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so this idea of the wedding, here we go. Here we go. And I saw an angel in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves unto the supper of the great God. The supper of the great God, that you may eat the flesh of kings, captains, mighty men, horses, men, free and bond, small and great. Who is being served at the supper of the great God? Who's the sacrifice? Who's the sacrifice? The white, virginal, unblemished lamb to the slaughter. The white, virginal, innocent lamb to the slaughter is being sacrificed to the God of the law. We are the sacrifice to the God of the law. Who's the serpent? Satan, Lucifer, the devil, the beast. Who eats flesh sacrifices? The dragon. The dragon, a false image of God. The wrathful, condemning one who puts us over the fire, the lake of fire. He roasts us over coals. We are the lamb. The unblemished, innocent, pure little lamb is going right to the marriage supper, all right. He's being served at dinner. Jesus said there is no marriage in the resurrection because it's binding. Marriage is a binding law. Marriage is a binding law. Every last work you are doing is being sacrificed unto the wrong God, the God of the letter, who Jesus came to defeat at the cross. He defeated the serpent at the cross and the law at the cross because they're one and the same. The God of the book is the serpent, the dragon, and the beast. Okay, so all the works that we do to bring in the harvest and offer our sacrifices, we're sacrificing them to the fire. We're bringing them into hellfire, the lake of fire, the baptism, the covenant, the curse. Jesus was supposed to be our curse for us. He was supposed to set us free from this. And yet you and I continue to practice these ways, sacrificing to a God who sits on the fiery judgment throne, judging our works. That's not the true image of God. That is the false image of God that you and I created in our own mind, our own creation, the works of our own hands, wood and stone, or paper and Bible. The works of our own hands is a false image of God. The image that we have while under law, while in religion, is a false image of God. And all the works that we do to please this God are being offered to the God of flesh works, the carnal law, the law of sin and death. That's the flesh God, the God who rules over the flesh. It's not the true God. It's not the true God. All of our works are in vain. Jesus' blood already sated that beast. He's full. He's satisfied. We continue to feed that monster. Our own toil, sweat and blood and tears. And he continues to grow. And this is why the world is made guilty by us. We present them a false image of God. We present to them a false image of God, a God that requires pure, unblemished lambs. Okay, so what happens in the truth? What happens in the truth? Okay, first of all, okay, here we go. For when the Gentiles, now guys, you and I are not Gentiles because we're grafted in. The book is for us. It's not as if the Gentiles ever read this book. We are not Gentiles if we're reading the book. And if we're reading the book, we're under the law. We're in religion. It doesn't matter if you go to church or not. You believe in the doctrines of the Bible, and that's religion. What you have to believe in is the God of the heart and the God of Jesus Christ, who is the complete opposite of the God of the book, and this is why he nailed it to the cross. He nailed the law and its God to the cross. Okay, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, but do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. These Gentiles show the work of the law written in their hearts by nature, their conscience also bearing witness. This tells us that the true innocence of the pure faith is knowing that God is written in the hearts of every man by nature. We gave up that intuition in our heart to follow the laws of a false God, a false image we created of God, that God would say, oh, don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't do this, don't do that. We thought that's what God would say. If we listened to our heart, we would have heard the true spiritual law of God. Jesus came to put the old law to death, but we still follow it. Okay, so what happens in the day that God judges the secrets of the hearts of men? Okay, right here. Here we go. Shall not the uncircumcision which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee? That's us. That's us. Nobody else reads this book. They who do by pure innocent faith, without the knowledge of the law of sin and death, will judge us on that day. We have the knowledge of the law, which is the knowledge of sin. We are made guilty by the law. They are left innocent out there. And if they do well, it shows that they have the moral law already encoded in their heart. Okay, so what is works of faith? Because we still have works. Because faith without works is dead. Doing works of faith. First, let me show you something, okay? Doing works of faith will be serving the true image of God. Okay, so first you have to know what the true image of God is. Okay. I just want to show you something quickly, because when man goes back to purity and wholeness, there will be no law. The law is the root of the sin, because the law worketh the wrath. It's the whole system of I am holier than thou because I'm boasting of my works. I am better than you because I do this and sacrifice unto God and bring in the harvest and toil in the field. I'm whitening myself and I'm learning the book. It's that works the wrath. We have superiority complexes, believing that we are better than the world, and we say we love them, but we can't truly love until we fulfill the law and come out of the book. When the book is over and done with and put to rest and nailed to the cross, and you and I are still waiting for the final chapter to come to pass. Fulfillment of the law is by love. Therefore, if you haven't fulfilled the law, you don't truly love. Impossible. If you truly loved your brethren, you would trust their heart where God's law is already written. You would trust them. Instead, we're taught to believe they're evil. But God's law is written on our hearts by nature. How can that be evil? We're indoctrinated to believe it's evil, to believe men are evil at their core. No, it's the law that causes the wrath, the evil. Where there is no law, there is no transgression of the law. When man is set free from his cage, his legally binding religion, he will then live in harmony and peace without transgressing. That's pure faith in your brethren. Pure love. If you truly love them, you trust them. Because they are the true image of God. Men, We're created in the image of God. What else has the image of God? God's creations, not ours. God's creations. The garden, the universe, the heavens, the creatures, and men. God's creations contain His image. When we serve our environment and our fellow man, we are serving the true image of God. This is why Jesus washed the feet. He served men, not some false image of God where you have to bow down in reverence and sacrifice everything. That's the false image of God that He came to remove us from. So faithful works will be trusting that God is the God of this world, not Satan. That everything in this world was good before man transgressed. Nature is good. Creatures are good. Men are good. And when we join together in unity, then there will be wholeness and holiness again. Come up out of the grave.